One Zambia, One Nation. Welcome to ZANIS News. My name is Alice Banda, and our sign language interpreter is Renard Simkonda. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines. Chinese company to set up lithium battery firm in Zambia. Mansa Council give climate funds to youths. Health personnel warned against misuse of phones during working hours. And farmers in Central Province hold golf tournament. The news in detail. A Chinese-based firm, Beta Technology Group Limited, has expressed interest in establishing a lithium battery processing plant in Southern Province, which will facilitate the creation of 3,000 jobs. Better Life General Manager Liu Dewei says the firm targets to produce over 3 million batteries per year, which will provide an alternative energy source to mitigate the current electricity deficit in the country. He was speaking when Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua visited the facility in Xiamen, China. Our staff Aliseli Simusowe now brings us the details.
As part of his ongoing engagements with various firms in Xiamen City of China, Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua has visited Better Life Technology Group Limited, a battery manufacturing firm. During this engagement, Better Life Group has intimated its intentions to set up a battery manufacturing plant in Southern Province, which will provide over 3,000 jobs for locals.
It is expected to put into production in this year, and expected to produce about 3 million batteries every year, and also produce about 3,000 job opportunities there. We know Zambia are short of electricity, so we hope by our power we can make better cooperation with you and benefit Zambia's economy.
Southern Province administration is keen to support this project.
We are ready to work with you. We are ready to support your investment in the province. The creation of those jobs, 3,000 jobs in Zambia. It is also our wish that our youths in Southern Province will be among the 3,000 employees that which are going to work with you. We encourage companies like yourselves to come to South. We are open door administration. We are there to receive investment. We are there to support.
The Zambia Chinese Association will support similar investments in power generation in Southern Province.
We closely with South Province, congratulate South Province as a sample to make sure all of the people in South they have the power, even this is not the power is there.
This firm is expected to finalize all preliminary processes to actualize the implementation of this project in Southern Province later this year. Lisedi Muche, ZANIS, in Xiamen City, China.
In a related development, Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, and his Botswanan counterpart, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Eric Molale, have reaffirmed their commitment to continue working closely to implement the establishment of the Kazungula Bridge Authority. The two ministers' commitment follows a directive from the Botswanan President Mogwatsi Masisi and Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema to make Kazungula Bridge as a one-stop border post facility, as well as the establishment of the Kazungula Bridge Authority. In a joint communique issued in Dola on the Copperbelt Province, Mr. Milupi stressed the need to deepen, consolidate, and explore strategic cooperation and partnership in the areas of transport, logistics, and infrastructure development in the region. The joint communique between the two countries acknowledged the warm bilateral relations that exist between Botswana and Zambia, as it anchors on the long-standing historical and political bonds, as well as common cultural heritage.
Our meeting today is a continuation of efforts towards the fulfillment
of the presidential directives issued during the January 2024 working visit to Kasane, Botswana, undertaken by both our Republican presidents. The directive there was that we should establish the Kazungula Bridge Authority at the earliest possible time. Specifically, today's meeting is to take stock of the discussions that we had in Palapye and of course Martin's Drift. I think Palapye was just to spend the night. Most of the discussions were actually held at Martin's Drift in Botswana in July this year. And this is in an attempt to find solutions to any issues that may be outstanding to pave way for the operationalization of the Kazungula Bridge Authority.
If Kazungula Bridge and the Kazungula Crossing is to be a bridge of choice, we then have to work on the feeder roads that lead to Kazungula or lead out of Kazungula. That is both Zambia-Malawi and Martin's Drift. And I'm quite impressed, Honorable Minister, I must say, the plans that you have for Zambia-Malawi. The place at first glance shows you that there is a high potential, not only for business in Zambia, but for cross-border trade. And one would hope that before long we should be seeing the Zambia DRC Kazungula type of authority to deal with such a problem. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, the SADC Trade Protocol, and many others proclamations and agreements will not take shape, will not be actualized if those cross-border points are not facilitated to bring nations together.
Czech Republic has injected 5 million kwacha into the cash transfer assistance initiative to complement government in helping households deal with the effects of the drought. Speaking during a courtesy call paid on provincial administration in Choma, Embassy of the Czech Republic, Head of Cooperation Milan Kauk, said the 5 million kwacha assistance is targeting households in Southern Province. Mr. Kauk expressed their country's commitment to providing immediate support in acute crisis situations people are dealing with. And Southern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Jolanta Malunga commended Czech Republic for supporting government's drought response initiatives.
The Czech Republic provide immediate support in the acute crisis, and as I was informed 2 weeks ago, our immediate support through cash transfer system that is here in Zambia in place, we managed to join this initiative with funding of 5 million kwacha, and the beneficiaries are actually located in the Southern Province.
We just want to say thank you very much for complementing government efforts in all the projects which are provided for us. Southern Province has got 15 districts, so we're only looking at 2. So would encourage you to add maybe even 2 or 3 more so that we are able to benefit at a larger scale.
Also in the news, the National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO, says there is a need to come up with solutions on how to cushion the impact of load shedding on the sector. NWASCO Public Relations and Communications Manager Mpunga Simkwai has since called for concerted efforts from various stakeholders to help find answers to sustaining the water sector in view of load shedding. Details in this report.
Just like many quarters, the water and sanitation sector has not been spared by load shedding. Commercial utilities have been forced to ration water supply owing to the increased hours of load shedding. The water sector regulator, National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO, is fully aware of the situation. NWASCO fears the gains made in attaining Sustainable Development Goal, SDG number 6, of ensuring access to water and sanitation for all by 2030 may be negatively affected by load shedding.
Now, there's no doubt that with the challenges that we are currently facing in the country as regards the drought, which is essentially due to climate change, that begins to impact on the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which, as you may be aware, focuses on increasing access to clean and safe drinking water and adequate sanitation for all. It means that already because of that, the hours of supply are reduced. Certain expansion programs cannot be carried out because obviously at the core of that is access to power, energy, or in this case, access to power.
The regulator has since called for concerted efforts from stakeholders to come up with solutions to water supply challenges in the midst of load shedding.
What is important is how we rebound or how we recover from this situation and how we can begin to look at alternatives or to begin to innovate on how we can still make strides towards the Sustainable Development Goal number 6. It is not a time for us to give up, but it's to still get together and see how we can still, while using alternative, for instance, sources of energy, see how we can still make progress towards the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, and of course the Vision 2030 for Zambia and the 8th National Development Plan.
Mtalakani for ZANIS News in Lusaka.
Government says it will investigate and address allegations leveled against Amatheon Agri Zambia Limited. Minister of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata says government will conduct a thorough investigation to determine the validity of the accusations. Mr. Kapata stated that government is committed to ensuring that all businesses and the media adhere to the highest standards of ethics and integrity.
Government will never take sides, but will always listen to both sides of the story. And in this case, we've taken down your concern, and obviously we know that the report is in the pipeline, which we'll have to submit and put up the structures in place that should be able to look at it, obviously as government in totality, and do some rapid response to your concern. Probably the way forward would be to engage the media houses that have been mentioned, maybe the proprietors, so that we can sit and see how best we can address this issue. If it means traveling to go to the farm and interact with the people and get it from the ground, then well and good, that has to happen. But what is important, first of all, is that both the media, the business fraternity, the farmers, agricultural sector, they have a huge role to play in this era where we require both. The president has been very clear on the issue for agriculture. A lot of issues are happening. A lot of solutions are being put in place. Like you rightly put it, the president visited the farm. We saw the interaction with the farm managers and everybody, the call to reach that peak in producing maize. We also, some of the statements that you made with regards going in line with government in producing more maize this time, winter maize and the rest. And we also have our partners, the media, who should be able to chip in to help government propagate this agenda. And so our role remains in creating another conducive environment for interaction. But what is important is that your concern has been taken, and obviously the report has reached government. We will share the report with the media that have been mentioned in this concern, so that we see how best that can be addressed.
A few concerns that we've noted as a business that have been aired on different media platforms. Maybe just to mention, that's Prime TV. I think there was a news item, and Hot FM yesterday. We got some information on the breakfast show. And these allegations, I think, have been spearheaded by an NGO called FIEN, which is also a German-founded NGO. there have been a couple of allegations which I'll segment and I'll just give some detail on all of them. One of the allegations I think that are prominent is in the news item, it was actually reported that Amatheon has denied access to a community dam to the residents in that particular area. I would want to put this very categorical that the dams that were built on Amatheon property are private dams, not community.
Meanwhile, in our environmental segment, beneficiaries of the Youth Climate Action Fund in Mansa District have ramped up efforts aimed at combating effects of climate change. Various youth groups who have been given sub-grants by the Mansa Municipal Council have now embarked on the actualization of the projects aimed at achieving climate justice.
Bush fires, wanton cutting down of trees, and bad disposal of waste are part of the problems that the youths in Mansa District have to deal with in their quest to combat the climate catastrophe. The 13 beneficiaries of the Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund have continued to launch their campaigns to combat the effects of climate change across Mansa town. As one of the 100 local authorities across the world, the Mansa Municipal Council received a grant of $50,000 United States dollars, money meant for disbursement as sub-grants to 13 youth groups. Mansa Mayor Njiko Msuku has been engaging the youth groups as they launch the implementation of projects.
Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is here to stay, and it's up to us to manage it properly. We believe that if we do not bring our hands together, we'll continue to face this problem of climate change, drought, year in, year out. As a district, we would like to see us respond to climate change because there's a strategic plan for climate change in the district.
Jones Kasongo is head of the Youth Climate Action Fund project at the Mansa Municipal Council.
This project is being supported and funded by Bloomberg Philanthropies. So this is a funding that has enabled us to disperse funds to various youth groups within Mansa, which are 13 in number. So far we are so much excited in terms of the works that the youths are trying to implement and various innovative ideas that are coming on board in order to mitigate the effects that we are experiencing within the district. So far we've had a number of workshops that we've held that have seen a lot of youths benefiting from knowledge from various expertise under green economy and also under other stakeholders.
The beneficiaries themselves are upbeat about the project.
I think it's very important for us to do tree planting. Thereby we are promoting afforestation and discouraging deforestation. Looking at climate change, we want to fight as young children or as young youths. We need to fight climate change through planting trees. The more we plant trees, we're going to promote a lot of ways of how we are going to prevent climate change.
For ZANIS TV, Godfrey Chikumbi reporting in Mansa.
We take a break, more stories still to come.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on ZANIS TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Welcome back. And now in health news, Lumezi Town Council in Eastern Province has started constructing a mother's shelter at Chitungulu Rural Health Post under the Constituency Development Fund, valued at over 400,000 kwacha. Acting facility in charge, Michael Makungo, told ZANIS that the absence of a mother's shelter has forced expectant mothers to stay in their villages, contributing to the high maternal mortality rate at the facility. Details in the following report by Lubasam Tafela.
This is Chitungulu area, a rural community in Lumezi district. Expectant mothers in this community are struggling to access proper maternal health services due to the absence of a mother's shelter, a facility where expectant mothers can stay during the final stage of pregnancy. Because of that, the maternal mortality rate in Chitungulu is high.
Challenges of mothers not coming in to work from here, of which has has caused a lot of home deliveries, and looking at our area here, there are a lot of animals, of which mothers and those who come beside us can't move at night.
Chomenemene kunopataza ku maternity taita vana maternity kogona tilije kophika napo tilije chomenemene ngotuvutika chomene kuno.
But now, government through the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) has stepped in to address the situation by constructing a mother's shelter. And the district health office knows too well the importance of the mother's shelter.
With the construction of that mother's shelter, we will see that women will be able to wait from, as close to where they are, okay, and be able to be taken care of from there. Okay, so we have had cases again in the past, particularly from Chitungulu, where we have recorded a number of maternal deaths. So with that being constructed, we expect that all the mothers in Chitungulu and surrounding areas will be able to wait comfortably at Chitungulu Rural Health Center, waiting for their delivery.
The community of Chitungulu is also in desperate need of the maternity annex. The local authority is optimistic that the mother's shelter will improve maternal care.
We have hospitals, clinics, according to the standards 10 years from now. Of course, we have tried to reduce some distances for our people on health matters.
Basim Tafela, ZANIS, Lumezi District, Eastern Province.
Still in health news, government has commissioned an ultra-modern mortuary facility and 15 other projects funded under the Constituency Development Fund valued at over 12 million kwacha in Chembe District, Luapula Province. Provincial Permanent Secretary Maite Momba commissioned the projects, which included 6 classroom blocks, a police post, and 2 staff houses for the police. Here is Trevor Lubala with details.
It is one of the major projects that government has undertaken in Chembe District in Luapula Province using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. This mortuary has cost over 2 million kwacha. It has been commissioned by Luapula Province Permanent Secretary Maite Momba.
We are here to partially commission the first ever state-of-the-art mortuary, which has been constructed at a total cost of 2,081,000 kwacha, 271.62 ngwe. This facility comes at a time when Chembe as a whole was greatly struggling with limited services when it came to caring for the deceased, which in the past would be difficult because bereaved families would travel across the district to access these services in Mansa.
For traditional leaders, the facility will enable their subjects to access mortuary services within the district.
The construction of the mortuary at Chembe Mini Hospital is also a very great achievement for the people of Chembe District, because burying of their relatives immediately they die will be a thing of the past. Now they will take time to mourn, more than 3 days to bury their departed ones, waiting for their relative who stay far from them.
Ekintu ekirero nakukwafa abantu besu mubikalire baife kutoteranga bashamfumu
ama project tulechita commission yengi tebofine so icho ndelo mbakulimwe mwe bantu bandi chakwe bati tatufuile tulewe na ule fifi ifipe ifile isa kunu ifyakutwafwa.
The PS also commissioned 15 other projects in different parts of the district. Trevor Vala for ZANIS in Chembe District, Luapula Province.
Also in health news, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia has expressed concern with the inappropriate and incorrect use of electronic gadgets such as cell phones by the Nursing and Midwifery fraternity while on duty. NMCZ Standards and Education Officer Beatrice Mwewa stated that the council is disappointed that some practitioners wear earpods and are seen attending to personal phone calls while attending to patients. Ms. Mwewa charged that this is not acceptable, it's unprofessional and unethical, as they can distract the practitioner, hence resulting in serious errors which may endanger the safety of patients. Government has started delivering farming inputs to Lunte District under the Farmer Input Support Program. Lunte District Agriculture Coordinator Gloria Musaba confirmed that the district has so far received 5,000 by 50 kilogram bags of urea and 3,000 by 50 kilogram bags of D-compound fertilizer. Sylvia Zulu from Lunte District, Luapula Province, gives us the details.
As the 2024-2025 farming season draws nearer, government has started positioning inputs to district. In Lunte District, government has started delivering inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, to the area. Lunte District Agriculture Coordinator Gloria Musava, who disclosed the development, stated that her office is also in the process of selecting beneficiaries.
Lunte has maintained the same number of beneficiaries. We are at 5,500 beneficiaries under FISIP. So from the expected 825 metric tons of urea fertilizer, we have already received 250 metric tons. And from the expected 825 metric tons of D-compound urea, D-compound fertilizer, we have already received 150 metric tons. So we are also expecting suppliers of seeds to be in the district very soon.
Meanwhile, farmers in Lunte District are calling on government to distribute the inputs on time to enable them prepare for the season ahead.
kutupera omufundo panshita bakutitwika chirwa mumirimine ya filimu afiso otufilime panshita tukesi kwatu obusumbushi obusuma tukesi yafako nichalo
amanena kuno northern province bapera wangu pakwe bati ngatwalima ifyakula twalima fika fumana kuno northern province nokutisha kwa ma province.
And Lunte District Commissioner Joseph Chilando reiterated government's commitment to provide the inputs on time.
The government is very concerned with Lunte District, so we have already started receiving, and we are hoping that by the end of this month, September, everything will be delivered. So the farmers are going to get their inputs earlier than they used to get, so that they start preparations early.
Reporting for ZANIS, Sylvia Zulu in Lunte District.
In other news, over 3,000 people are expected to benefit from the emergency cash transfer funds in Zambia District. Zambia District Commissioner Kayula Mlenga says government will continue to provide social amenities to its people to improve their livelihood amidst the drought that the country has faced. More in the following report.
Government has been on hand to empower rural communities with emergency cash transfer funds to cushion the effects of the drought that has impacted most parts of the country. In Zambia District, the District Commissioner has assured residents of the government's continued support.
Ero baleta nombaneyi emergency social cash transfer. Kumono kwebati abantu besu pali ilienshita ifintu filikwatina fishu pako. At least baba pera ko ifintu fimo efyo uteko bwenu na ba president bakaende ichilema balangulukire chalo chesu chose chaza.
Community members have held the government for its responsiveness by providing various social amenities.
Tatwale kwanisha ukushitefya kudya ilelo 800 ngatwapoka twarashtefya kudya n'abana abaladya wemfyashu wesu twatoterani wekasunga wesu.
The Department of Social Welfare highlights the importance of the emergency cash transfer funds.
These cash transfers that have come for the emergency is mainly there to cushion on the shocks that have come with the disaster that we are in, which is drought. So each and every household is entitled to 800 kwacha. They will be getting that every two months. So at the moment, the district has 3,196 beneficiaries on ECT, and the amount that came from the government is about 2.5 million.
Chipidi Makasa, reporting for ZANIS in Zambia District, Luapula Province.
We take our final break and more stories when we return.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conduct that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on ZANIS TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back, and more stories in business news. Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika says data collection is crucial in supporting and developing policies that promote women participation in the economy. In a speech read for her by Director Gender and Development Henry Nkoma, Ms. Kabika commended the Bank of Zambia for developing products and services to address the plight of women in the country. Details in the following report.
The Bank of Zambia says it remains resolute in its efforts to increase financial inclusion and promote access to finance to citizens in communities. The bank has since held a training workshop on financial inclusion and gender data in Lusaka. Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika was represented at the official opening by Director, Gender and Development Henry Nkoma.
The division is committed to protecting and promoting women's rights, curbing gender-based violence, and reducing gender inequalities by making progressive changes to legislation, and that the gender division also works towards the advancement of women by strengthening their capacity to participate and influence decision-making at the highest levels of national and other matters. As such, the division recognizes the pivotal role that gender statistics and data in general play in shaping policy and ultimately reducing existing gender inequalities.
Bank of Zambia Deputy Governor for Administration, Reka Muhango, said the workshop is intended to provide a platform for information sharing.
The Government of the Republic of Zambia, through the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, has identified financial inclusion as one of the key strategies to be implemented to enhance citizenry participation in the economy. Universal access to affordable and quality financial products continues to be a key focus in facilitating resilient and inclusive growth, as well as bridging existing gender gap in economic empowerment. To this end, and to support the formulation and implementation of the policies targeted at women and men's financial inclusion, the collection and use of sex disaggregated data cannot be overemphasized. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in this regard that the Bank of Zambia has recognized the need to collaborate and share knowledge, as well as enhance collective capacity to collect, disseminate, and utilize quality data in order to contribute to inclusive and sustainable development. This workshop, therefore, is intended to provide a platform for information sharing and discussion on how best we could all contribute to the national development by harnessing the collective power of availability of data.
One of the beneficiaries of the training shared his thoughts.
So we appreciate what Bank of Zambia is doing, and we will do our best also to support the program that they have come up with.
Sandra for ZANIS in Lusaka.
Still in business news, Kasama District Commissioner Annie Paul has asked the Bank of Zambia to intensify sensitization programs on digital financial services to prevent people from being scammed. Mrs. Paul said unscrupulous people have invaded rural areas and are buying agricultural produce using fake banknotes. She said this when officials from the Bank of Zambia called on her at the office in Kasama. In entertainment news, the Zambia National Service Commander, Lieutenant General Maliti Solochi, has commended the Seventh-day Adventist Church Mass Choir for supplementing the efforts of government in bettering the lives of the underprivileged in society through their services. He was speaking in a speech read on his behalf by Zambia National Service Brigadier General Gordon Luwamia during the Mass Choir album launch and fundraising for the Hope Community Central Project in Lusaka. We have more details in the following report.
The Dorcas Workers Mass Choir of Fengrove Mission District under Midlands West Zambia Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church has continued supplementing the efforts of the government in offering services to the needy in society. This motivated them to conduct a fundraising music festival at the government complex in Lusaka to raise resources towards the construction of the Hope Community Center. The move excited the Zambia National Service Commander, Lieutenant General Maliti Solochi, represented by Brigadier General Gordon Luwamia, who commended the Dorcas workers for this noble cause.
The main aim is to have a Hope Community Center, or to construct a Hope Community Center, where they provide skills to the poor, widows, orphans, or let us say the underprivileged people in the society.
This event was done simultaneously with the Dorcas Workers Mass Choir Mercy Onse album launch.
This album is not just an ordinary album, like I mentioned earlier on, but one that injects hope in a world suffering from despair. Through your musical offering, let God ignite our faith and draw our wayward souls back to Him.
Dorcas Workers Mass Choir Director Rosa Zulu, who is also Lusaka District Commissioner, appreciated the successful implementation of the event.
People can still come to a center instead of them coming to a particular church. Here what I've seen, we have been supported by Salvation Army, we have been supported by Roman Catholic, we have been supported by other churches. This is what we want. Where we are going to do the community center, we are going to definitely attend to every person. And this is what we are looking for.
This exciting development is set to make a significant impact on the lives of many in the society. ZANIS reports in Lusaka.
On the sports segment, in an effort to strengthen ties between Zambia and Malawi, the Chipata Pool House in Eastern Province has organized a pool tournament which has seen players from both countries taking part in the event. Pool House patron Justin Mwanza says the tournament was also organized to keep young people from engaging in illicit activities. Mutinta Mwemba covered the tournament and filed in this report.
Sporting activities have for a long time been a unifying factor as it brings people together regardless of tribe or religion. Through sports, young people stay away from illicit activities such as beer drinking and substance abuse, among others. It is for this reason that the Chipata Pool House organized the pool tournament, which also had participants from the neighboring country, Malawi. Justin Mwanza is the patron of Chipata Pool House and shares these sentiments.
The formation of this tournament is for us to interact and know each other. You know, today we're having the tournament here. 2 weeks from now, we'll be having a tournament in Malawi. So as we keep on visiting to each other, then we will know each other. We can even do other businesses apart from the pool that we are playing. No wonder why we sat down that we need to have these tournaments that will be played in Zambia and be played again into Malawi. It's just to strengthen the relationship between ourselves here.
The participants from both countries are delighted with the initiative.
And then for this tournament, I really appreciate for the sponsors and the management is good. Even me, I played the tournament, but I lost. But
all these youths we are seeing, if we were not to give them something to do like this, they would have been under the bridge trying to attack us and rob us. Yeah? But instead, they have something keeping them busy. So we are encouraged by that. And we call upon the support of both governments to support this sport.
And Chipata Mayor George Mwanza says government recognizes every sport as important.
I'm very thankful to the organizers because you see on a day like this, on a night like this, a lot of our young people would have been somewhere else, but we are here united as one team, but also just to encourage each other and work together. But also pool is one of the sports that sometimes it is not recognized very well. But with an event like this, we are here to show you that we are recognizing pool.
Kelvin Nkandu from Zambia emerged winner after beating his rival, Grievin Stanford, from Malawi by a 21-14 scoreline. Nkandu walked away with a sum of 10,000 kwacha cash. Mutinta Mwemba reporting for ZANIS in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
And lastly, in the news, Central Province Minister Mwabashike Nkulukusa has called for support towards the growth of golf in the region. Nkulukusa said this when he graced the 2024 Farmers Golf Tournament in Kabwe. Take a look at this report by Kelvin Tembo.
The Kabwe Golf Club was yet again a hive of activity as it hosted the 2024 Farmers Tournament, which was sponsored by Saro, DS Solar, Jubilee Metals, Farmers Nest and Lunsenfa Hydropower, among others. Central Province Minister Mwabashike Nkulukusa graced this year's tournament with this call.
Today's event is more than just a tournament. It is a celebration of the growing bond between sports and agriculture. Golf, as we all know, is not just a sport of leisure, but one of strategy, discipline, and patience. These are qualities that are mirrored in the farming, as every farmer needs these abilities. As we encourage the development of agriculture, we must also encourage the development of sports, particularly golf in Central Province and across Zambia. Therefore, I implore the executive of the Kabwe Golf Club to ensure that development of the sport in Kabwe District and Central Province at large is enhanced.
Some of the sponsors pledged to continue supporting the growth of golf in the district.
This is all part of the community service that we've committed to do. We have committed to sponsor functions at the golf club, not for the short term, but for the longer term. We are working together with the club executive so that we can see how we can have youth development programs as well as other infrastructure developments at the golf club. So we want to make this commitment that we will continue to sponsor these events, including many others.
Golf is a uniting factor, and I believe that your network is your net worth. Kabwe Golf Club should create such a huge network to create net worth for Kabwe.
And as the minister has asked everyone who has sponsored or who is here to help different airport persons, as DSOLA, we want to pledge that we will support the different airport people. And to those who participated in the farmers tournament, we can gladly say even next year we are going to sponsor you, and we hope you will make it next year as well. Thank you so much, and that's what it is.
For the club, the tournament was a success.
the participation was extremely high. The competition was good, and the course was rough. So, as captain, I'll say those who have won this evening truly deserve it. We were overwhelmed with sponsorship. It was overwhelming. And we are really grateful for the support that we have received for this, our second farmers tournament.
Kelvin Tembo for ZANIS in Kabwe, Central Province.
As we end the news, a recap of stories that made headlines. Chinese company to set up lithium battery firm in Zambia. Mansa Council give climate funds to youths. Health personnel warned against misuse of phones during working hours. And farmers in Central Province hold golf tournament. On that note, we end the news. This has been Alice Banda, and my sign language interpreter has been Renard Simkonda. On behalf of the entire ZANIS production team, goodbye.